I'm Greg Anderson. I'm here today with Sean Sorensen of American Healthcare Lending, and we're here today to take a little bit of a tour of their office and help the members of the Crown Council learn a little bit more about them.
You know, American Healthcare Lending, we've been in the finance business for quite a while, for many years, and financing in a variety of different industries. And some of our banking partners began probing us, saying, why aren't you in healthcare? Why aren't you in healthcare? It's such a large industry. There's billions of dollars left on the table every single day in healthcare. Yet you continue to finance in other industries. And after 4 or 5 times hearing that, we finally listened and started to work into the dental space back in 2009, 2010, and started to feel out the industry and see what was going on. And my next door neighbor happened to be a dentist, and I asked him what he did. And he said, I use Care Credit, and I hate Care Credit. And I said, why? And he said, they're too expensive and they don't approve anything. And from there, I think American Healthcare Lending was born. So we started doing a lot of research, finding lending partners, finding out what was going on in the industry, and realized that there's literally billions of dollars left on the table every single year in the world of patient finance. And there's a huge need. And it's expensive. So not only are dentists not generating the revenue, it's walking out the door, but they're paying a fortune for what they do. So that's where kind of the idea of American Healthcare Lending was born.
So over the last 2 years, what have you found as you've entered the dental space?
Well, I think partnering with the Crown Council, for starters, has been huge for us in understanding the dental space. Coming from other finance industries, we needed to learn about dentistry and what they actually need. And I think we found that my next door neighbor dentist really was right, and that there's a huge void in this industry. And the Crown Council members have been instrumental in our success in building our company. We've been able to listen to them, and they've essentially told us what to build, and we've built a platform around their needs and satisfying what a dentist needs in today's world.
So a Crown Council member calls into American Healthcare Lending. How is that different than when some other practice that's not a Crown Council member calls in? Do you see any difference?
Absolutely, Greg. Crown Council members are operating at a much higher level of performance as a whole team. Just last week I was in Dallas meeting with a bunch of Crown Council members and TOPS members, and it seems like the team members, they go to trainings, they get their performance level and their individual responsibilities in the office going at a much higher level, and they're not just punching an 8 to 5 hourly job. They're there to really help benefit the practice, make the doctor more money, make things flow much more smoothly in the practice. It's quite a business model. It's much different than working with a non-Crown Council member.
So how have you defined customer service? You've redefined customer service. Tell us about that.
Well, the finance industry is built on platforms that involve no live human interaction. In fact, every other company that I know in the industry has automated responses, which are good for some things, like quick decisions, but poor for others. And so what we've developed is the first full-service finance platform in the industry. So we have a team of live lending consultants assigned to each practice. In fact, we assign 2 lending consultants to every practice that we work with. So for a Crown Council member, when they call in, they're immediately routed to that same person every single time that they're used to talking to. They know them on a first-name basis. And they're flagged as a Crown Council account. So when it pops up on their screen, they know, hey, this is a Crown Council member. I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to take great care of them. And we really pride ourselves on world-class customer service.
What's your mission, like customer service mission? Can you explain that? Like, how do you treat people? What do you guys hope to do when a customer calls or you get a new customer? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, you bet. When a customer calls in, we're really focused on exceeding their expectations in every way. From the product itself, for the patients, for the practice and team members, the staff members, and for the doctor, we want to exceed expectations in every single category. And so whether it's bringing a product that doesn't have retroactive interest, a lower patient rate for the patient, it's a much healthier product for the patient, to making it really easy for the practice or for the staffers to submit the application and send it in, to taking the workload off their shoulders if we have to chase down a co-signer or something like that, to, for the doctor's benefit, getting more case approvals and growing that practice revenue. So yeah, I think we're better in every single category than our competitors.
Talk about speed. One of the things that we know that people like about processing financing is the speed with which you can get an answer.
Good question. So we've come a long way in the area of speed, and I think that's something that's very important in the dental space. We started out from our other industries in financing 72-hour decisions, and then we went to a 48-hour decision. When we entered the dental space, we had a 24-hour decision. Now we're down to a 5-second decision. So we can get a decision very quickly through our automated technology platform where we have all of our solutions there available. And then at any time you can call in and work with your lending consultant or instant message them via our technology platform and get an instantaneous response.
So if you were defining the mission, the goal of American Healthcare Lending, how would you define the mission of what you do here?
Great question. I think we want to be the future of patient financing. We feel like there's a lot of VCRs out there and we're the DVD player. Nobody has really innovated in this industry for over 30 years. It's been the same old credit card technology, and we feel like we can bring a group of lenders onto one platform and find a way to get a payment option for every single patient out there, not just the ones with perfect credit. So we believe by thinking outside the box, innovating, finding new products, gathering new lenders onto one platform, we can truly be the future of patient financing in the dental industry.
What are you doing actively to save money for the dentist?
It's a great question. I think the biggest thing that we have is power to leverage our relationships with these lenders so that the price goes down for the practices. We're creating new products every single day and bringing them to the dentist on our platform that allows them to finance more patients at a lower cost. But I think also one of the biggest things that we do is we perform a lot of training. Webinars, individual customized trainings with practices that teach them how to sell financing correctly. We teach practices every single day how to sell standard installment loans, which only cost them 4%, instead of a 24-month zero interest plan, which cost them 14%. So I think education and training are huge at American Healthcare Lending and understanding what to present to the patient the very first time.
Okay, so I'm now on the phone with you, and I've got a patient sitting in front of you. Explain to me as simply as you can the options that I have to finance that patient in my practice.
So we have a myriad of options, but we like to keep it simple. You don't want to confuse a patient. So the key, I think, is getting the credit application out of the patient first. But you also are just simply going to explain, we have an extended payment plan from 24 months up to 72 months available to you. And then we also have a myriad of other options, including an option that has no credit check required for approval called check pay. We like to keep it pretty simple like that, but anything from a 0% offer to an extended plan up to 72 months with very low interest starting at 8%, we offer it all. Everything that a Care Credit, Chase, Wells Fargo, Citi can do, we can do, but then we do many other things in addition to that. And so that's the power of American Healthcare Lending. With one credit application that you submit, you can have access to all of them simultaneously. As any office manager will attest, the worst thing you can do is get a decline from Care Credit and then have to ask the patient to fill out another credit application for another lender. Nobody wants to do that, and nobody wants to get their credit hit twice. With one application streamlined on our technology platform, you can submit to many, many different lending options simultaneously.
So we refer to this as sharpening the saw. We always want everybody in the office to be sharpening the saw every day and improving their skills, improving their customer service, always focusing on being a better person, a better team member every day. So everybody brings in, some of their favorite books that they think would be helpful to people in the office, and then you can come over here and check them out and read them whenever you'd like. We even allow, if you want to spend 20 to 30 minutes during the day at the office, to study something to sharpen the saw.
So if you knew you had an audience today in front of 1,000 Crown Council members and you had 60 seconds to tell them something you thought was important, what would you tell them?
I tell them, stop leaving money on the table. Every single day in your practice, it's unbelievable how many millions of dollars out there are left uncaptured, unfinanced. You've spent millions of dollars in marketing over your lifetime as a dentist to get them in the practice, only to see them walk out the door because you can't find an option for them. And amazingly, we have a credit card, a credit card, and a credit card as my 3 options for the patient, all with the same lending criteria and credit scoring models. And you wonder why you don't get more than 3 or 4 out of 10 approved for the full amount. Well, let us help you. Let us give you another option. As the Crown Council always recommends, you need to have more than one financing option within your practice. Let us be that other option, but instead of just being one other option, we're many, many other options all on one platform. And we can generate more revenue for your practice. Every dentist asks the question every single day, how can I make more money? How can I drive more revenue into my door? Those forward-thinking dentists are always trying to push the envelope there. We can help you with that. One of the ways is unscheduled treatments. Another way is unfinanced treatments. And I think that's a very high, an untapped market right now, and I think we can really help with that.